school here today at 6 o'clock. We'll have the pledge of allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Yes, sir. Mr. Dean? Here. Mr. Huffman? Here. Mrs. Hutchinson? Here. Mr. Mayor?
Here.
Mr. Robinson? Mr. Sansing? Mrs. Schaefer? Mr. Stoll? Mr. Taylor? Present. We have 7 present. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have any citizens. We're going to have the budget report first, and then we'll go to the training systems.
If I just talk to the overhead, pick me up and on.
I think it's picking up. Let's make it go.
John, is it picking up just with the overhead? No?
Little.
I could talk very loud.
There.
Yeah? Okay. I'm going to, at this point, we're going to share with you the updated budget information. Before I do that, though, there are 2 things that I just wanted to talk about. One is in addition to the education section of the agenda. We've been in communication with the 5 preschools in the school district, and I'm asking for permission to submit a grant in partnership with them for curriculum materials in the area of mathematics and literacy. We've had a very strong relationship with the preschool teachers and the directors. For the last 5 years, the school district has been building a school readiness transition committee, and so we already have some really nice pieces in place as our students are entering kindergarten. This grant would be used to provide mathematics materials to support our everyday math program, as well as literacy materials to support our reading and writing workshops. Primarily, it's a guidebook for shared and guided reading. And then it would also give us an opportunity to provide some professional development by our teachers to the preschool teachers so that we can have an even stronger transition. So I'm going to be asking that that be added to this evening's agenda. And secondly, Irma had asked me to clarify some information regarding the homeschool visitor. Last week when I shared the information related to the Mellon Foundation grant, one of the areas that is reinstated as the homeschool visitor, and she's just asking that I clarify the responsibilities of the homeschool visitor. In essence, the homeschool visitor is our social worker. She helps to address truancy in the school district. She, several days a week, is known to get in her car and pick up students who are truant from school. In some cases, they're actually having difficulties getting to school. She helps to find mental health resources and social resources for our students and our families. If we are filing magisterial proceedings related to attendance, she does that filing and she actually attends those hearings. She is our homeless liaison, and so with our students who are homeless, she is the point of contact and is able to get resources for those families. She does not in any way deal with homeschooled children. Homeschooled children are totally separate. She is working with the students who are here in our physical plans. Does that clarify?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You are very welcome. Okay, I would like to start just by talking about restored areas to the budget from our meeting last week. I'm not going to review those areas, but restorations that have occurred from last Tuesday through today. You'll remember in the foundation grant that we had an area for, for bleacher relocation. And we are able to utilize that, those monies towards restoration of some of our athletic areas. And so I've put together this sheet of restored items. There are two revenue sources that have assisted us in being able to restore some of these athletic areas. One being the foundation grant and the bleacher relocation of a little over $24,000. And then the projected revenues that we are anticipating as they relate to the participation fee for athletics. Be aware that you're not going to be able to take the participation fee that we are looking at with the policy and multiply it by the number of student participants and get your figure. There needs to be a reduction of that revenue that would reflect our free and reduced lunch population, and that's about 36%. And so in the end, we're projecting that we'll receive just shy of $17,000 through the participation fee. I asked Ron and Brett to prioritize those areas of athletics that, in terms of restoration, and the first area would be restoring golf, swimming, and cross country. And you'll recall from our other budget discussions, that's a little over $31,000. And then the following assistant coaches: baseball, boys soccer, girls soccer, softball, boys track, and girls track. And really one of the primary determinants in this priority is that these are all outside practices, and we felt that the coverage in terms of safety, it was a higher priority to have these areas addressed initially. With the golf, swimming, cross country, and these assistant coach restorations, which are in the budget that you'll be considering this evening, it's just about $46,500 in terms of expense. You'll see that it's a little over $41,000 in revenue, and so about $5,000, $5,100 would need to come from the general fund. And that is the case this evening as you will be considering the budget as it's being presented. There are several unrestored assistant coaches, and I would like you to have some discussion about this. The assistant coaches that were not restored at this point are boys basketball, girls basketball, volleyball, the marching band assistant director, and I did not put on your sheet, I apologize, wrestling. You can put the wrestling assistant, and the corresponding salary for that is $3,675. If all of those coaches were restored, it would cost $16,775. And there is not currently a revenue source for that. And so if that were to be the case, you need to understand that it would simply be an added expense to the budget that we'll be looking at. But I do want you to have some discussion, and maybe you want to hold that discussion until after Jim presents the budget summary sheets and the millage impacts and all of that. But you know, if 5 of you desire to do that, then certainly we're able to do that this evening. Do you have any questions maybe before deliberating that with the budget summary information? Okay, Jim, I'm going to hand it over to you then.
The first handout I have for